Hi everybody. Well, here I am, your war correspondent from Australia. See, I'm getting into my camouflage gear. I think it's entering a new phase. And there's so much to read on at the moment. So I'm going to try and push out a lot of slightly shorter videos. But this is going to be on Nancy Pelosi because she's now front and center again in quite a different way. Regular viewers will know that I was wondering who was the Queen of Discs when I was reading on Trump a few days ago. And I've decided, along with some viewers, that it is actually Nancy Pelosi. And I think she's well placed as the warrior queen. So where are we going to go with this with Nancy? Regular viewers will also know I strongly feel before 2020 that the old guard, Nancy, Dianne Feinstein, even Elizabeth Warren, a lot of them should make way for the young ones and become mentors. But that's then. This is now. I think the States really needs her experience to weather this storm. So I think she's got a very important role to play right now. And I think she's up for it, So let's just see what's happening for Nancy Pelosi now. So I'll bring these cards down. I've gone back to the Rider-Waite deck for this. Oh, just in case, I had to point out, this is called a taniwha. It's a Maori from the South Pacific protective guardian spirit. So I'm wearing that with my camouflage gear. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to do a little short one on where is Nancy Pelosi at generally. Okay, tell me about Nancy Pelosi. What's happening for Nancy? All right. King of Pentacles. Ooh, a reversal, a very rare reversal. Okay, so here we have, first up for her, the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of a sophisticated person, a person who has had a good education, is familiar with the good things in life, doesn't have to worry about money, but there's also an element of mastery here with the Falcon. So the Nine of Pentacles is about a sophisticated person moving through their world, right? So this is her. That's the cultured Nancy Pelosi. Just behind her, we have the War Horse. Now, sometimes I look at this card as the mercenary, someone without any ideological foundation, and they're just a gun for hire. I don't have that interpretation here. It's more the War Horse. Someone who's in it for the long haul. Absolutely solid as a rock. If we are all right, and it is she's the Queen of Pentacles in the other reading, here, I think this is still also her as the King of, going up against the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles have a slightly different energy, unlike the other suits where they're more the masculine and feminine of each other. If you look at the imagery of the King of Pentacles, this is the greedy man who makes a continual grab for power. The castle in the background, the jewels, all the trappings of wealth. I think, this is her going up against Trump. I think he's the greedy man and the greedy king. Now, the Two of Swords reversed. So, the Two of Swords, decision, crossroads, blind justice, all those regular associations, reversed. So, in other words, I would say she's going into this with her eyes open. You note that the figure is blindfolded, right? But in this context, she knows exactly what she's getting into and she's well placed to deal with it. So I'll just make sure that some of these cards haven't become reversed. No, it was, I think, just a one-off. How weird is that? Just having a quick flick through here, viewers. All right, so what's our next question going to be for Nancy? Will she go for an impeachment with Trump? I think it's a fair enough question. Will she go down the impeachment route? Yes or no? Will she go for impeachment? Push for that. Justice. Oh, very interesting cards, viewers. Out of these 4 cards, 3 are major arcana, big gun cards. I have to think about this. Will she go for impeachment was the question. So on top we have the Justice card. If there was any justice in the world, Trump would have been impeached on week 2 of his miserable and inappropriate presidency. So justice is coming, and she's a harbinger of justice. Now, this is interesting because, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, viewers, she's actually not a fan of the impeachment route for her own reasons, and I understand that. It's like when you've got a servile Senate, that certainly you wouldn't get 2/3 of the Senate backing it. It's sort of a losing game. Why would you go there? But these cards are suggesting that she might anyway go there. That puts the emphasis on the other foot. That puts it back on those reptilian Republicans. Oh, interesting. I didn't expect that. The Wheel of Fortune. The card of destiny. Although she's an extremely accomplished politician, to a certain extent, this is out of her control and destiny will have its way. So this is the card of fate. It's usually a good card in that sense. So what I'm seeing here, and I'll explain with these next cards in a moment, it's almost like there is a momentum. Now, those of you who have been following me for a long while, I'm not a fan of impeachment either. I think there's a risk that it will leave a disgruntled base who are largely, out of touch, grizzled and cranky, and largely armed. Who wants that? I would rather they became disenchanted with Trump. But as I've said before, I don't rule the world. So impeachment will not be as a commentator, not a tarot reader, not be my first port of call, nor hers. However, this is really strongly suggesting another direction. Okay. So then we have women celebrating. All right. She is part of that. She fought the good fight for women of her generation and women celebrating. So she's got the power of a lot of women behind her, not all, but a lot. Her mini outcome, will she go down the impeachment route? Temperance. She might and she might not. There's part of her that is very reserved about this strategy, and she might paddle a middle course and just try and keep within the Democratic Party, now I'm talking, the two wings, just keep them ticking over, those who want to impeach and those who don't. That might actually be her role. Now, I also think it's important to ask, because it's not an absolute that she will get the speakership. So I think it's 10% or something of the 48 who decide. I'm not quite sure how it all works. The point is, not everyone is in favour of Nancy Pelosi being the Speaker. So let's see how that looks before we go, oops, further into this. I think all that I've just said will happen anyway because she's a power player. She's been there forever. She's part of the institutional fabric of the Dems. So she will be listened to, by most, regardless only because of her experience, even if they're not particularly fond of her. And I think she might be a bit prickly at close range. But this now is, will she get the speakership? Will Nancy Pelosi get the speakership? Ooh, I don't know that she will. That's interesting. I'll do a clarifier in a moment. All right. Now, this has been very interesting all up. None of these are what I expected. So she kicks off with the Four of Cups, an offer she does not want. In other words, with this question, that would say to me, behind the scenes, someone or a group of people are saying, you don't have to disappear altogether, Nancy, but we want someone else as Speaker. You could be such and such, another role, a lesser role. She's been made an offer she does not want. She gets the Strength card, again a major arcana card, taming the beast. So she's not short of personal strength. We know that. She has the strength to weather this storm. But I'd be a bit concerned for her, if I was her rather, in the sense that she next gets the Death card. I stress, viewers, this is rarely about mortal death. It's not about that. It's about the end of a cycle. So it could be the end of her dominance and the end of her being an absolute shoo-in for this role. As we speak, and into the very short term, she is embattled. She's a bit battle-scarred. She's been around the block a few times, we know this, but she is embattled. So it's not a given. So I would like a clarifying outcome, please. Will she become Speaker? Will she become Speaker? Working on the details. What does that mean? It means she's doing the numbers behind the scenes. Okay, she has been challenged. They've talked about another position for her, and she is not interested in that position. She has the strength to fight it. I'm recapping here so you're really clear, but it does look like the end of a cycle, and she's fighting. She's getting the numbers. This is the Apprentice card. She's far from an apprentice, so it has its other meaning, which is working on the details. We need another clarifier. Will Nancy Pelosi get the speakership? Will she get the speaker's role? The Lovers. She might swing a deal at the end. Yeah. So she's working on it. She's playing hardball behind the scenes. She's being alternately, I would suggest, threatening and charming. She is doing whatever it takes. She's an extremely personally ambitious person. I'm not saying that as a criticism. She didn't get to where she was and for as long as she has by being a snowflake. So she's working on it. The Lovers indicates a deal might be struck. All right. So where are we up to? Oh, so much for a short reading, isn't? I'm going to leave it there, viewers, except to say congratulations to Kirsten Cinema, which brings my tally up by another one. Didn't do badly in those, viewers. So I'm going away right now, and I'm going to do Melania. What is that about? Melania now suggesting staffing innovations. What? All right. Bye for now.